Welcome to My Divine Truths. I'm your host, Malika.
I'm your co-host, Devon. Before we get started, thank you guys for joining us, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share our channel.
Absolutely. Also, if you want to be alerted to new content that we post, make sure you hit that notification bell.
Yes, for the new stuff. The new.
Hi, Devon.
Hi, Malika.
You hear that beat?
I do.
Who's that beat by?
DJ Tavon.
That's right.
Thank you, Tavon. We appreciate you.
Me too.
So, Malika, I'm thinking today, let's tell the viewers a little bit about ourselves. How long have we been friends? How did we meet?
We were 12 years old when we met. I had just moved to Maryland with my mother, and I was walking to the bus stop.
Yes. So I saw you walking to the bus stop. You know, Salisbury, where I'm from, is a small area. Everybody knows everybody. I knew you were new. You were walking by yourself. You look a little lonely. So, of course, I did the Devon thing. I came up and introduced myself, and we just clicked ever since.
We did. Despite being pushy, I appreciate it.
I was pushy. I'm not pushy.
No, but it's a beautiful thing, because to be 12 years old and then we're still sitting here at the ripe age of
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
You know, and in the meantime went to school, marriage, kids.
Yeah.
And we're still sitting in
a space. And we're not friends, we're family. Our bond is extremely close. You're my best friend, you're my sister, you're my rider.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And no friendship is perfect, so don't see us and think that we don't
listen.
Get into it.
This weekend, Malika lives in Rochester, in New York. I'm here in Maryland. This week she flew out Thursday.
Yes.
How many arguments have we had over the weekend?
A lot.
But
we're still sitting here in
this
space.
Yes.
You have to learn to respect that.
Yeah.
We're still sitting in space. Some people can't do that. We got an argument on the drive here.
Listen, we were arguing in the car on the way to the studio, and it was bad. And she was mad, like big time mad. I don't even remember what the argument was over. See, stress causes all of that. The podcast and want everything to flow. Listen, you're type A personality. If anything goes wrong with Malika, she's out of whack. Malika will write out a plan, our itinerary. If it doesn't go according, she was asking me people's schedule. I can't dictate no one else's schedule. Anyway, so an argument popped off. She was mad. And what did I do?
Popped it. You didn't say my music, and I started going to My Divine Truths. My little spin.
Got her right in the zone.
But
Yeah.
before that, I was looking out the window. I didn't even want to make eye contact.
She was big time mad.
Oh yeah, I get petty.
Yeah, and we both do. But we know how to bring it back around. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
The most important thing.
Our friendship and being family is more important. Okay, but I want to talk about something.
What happened over the weekend? What happened over the weekend? This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. Go ahead, Malika.
This is basically the universe. We're doing a podcast, so a lot of things that you want to talk about, you end up interacting with people
on a daily basis, and it comes out of nowhere. It'll just drop right on your lap.
Yeah, we met. We went out. Actually, we went to a rooftop party in Baltimore.
Yes.
It was really, really nice. It was really nice. We had a good time, and then we came back to the hotel, and we sat in the hotel because we were going to go live. And we weren't able to, which
the universe.
We just were chilling. Yeah.
The universe.
So we met these young men, and we had the most
interesting conversation.
Provocative.
Gosh,
provoking.
real, raw conversation with them. Probably a 2-hour conversation with them. Yes. Yeah. And the conversation, obviously, we're beautiful women, started off with them trying to figure out who we were and why we were sitting in the lobby of this hotel. And we just introduced ourselves, and we got to hear their story, which was some fascinating stories. They were 3 young men from Baltimore City, and they got to tell us a little bit about our lives. And the more we got talking, we ended up talking about relationships.
Yes.
We ended up talking about relationships, and it went from relationships being good. A couple of them had proposed to some women they had been with for 9 years and 5 years. And it was a fascinating conversation. Because it turned from healthy relationships to unhealthy real quick.
It went a little loud, but it was their honesty. They spoke their truth, and I think to have people in there that it was raw. Like, they spoke their truth about what they looked at as women, what they looked at as their main woman. They talked about monogamy. They talked about having multiple women. And
what men think, what men think. And hearing that male perspective, is always eye-opening, because as women and men think different. And so when you're sitting in front of a male and they're speaking truth, very raw, because they had nothing to gain from us. So, if they were speaking truth, it was eye-opening. I mean, we talked about even, what do you think about sex and how a woman should give it up, the time frames, and we talked about trash sex.
They said they couldn't wait a month, or if they did wait a month.
They ain't waiting no month. They not waiting a month.
They were honest, though. They talked about trash, which I had no idea.
I had no idea there was a such thing as
what
trash.
That looked like. Or, I'm glad.
You glad that's foreign to you? That's what was like. Wait a minute, it's trash. There's a such thing as trash out there. Yeah.
It was honest conversation, and I think that's getting someone in that space and them speaking. Now, I don't know how they would have been if we were able to film them.
Listen, but it was so cute because they knew what we were doing. They knew about the podcast. And as we were getting up, one of the guys said, that must have been an interesting podcast. And that's why we brought it right back to the table with you and I, because that conversation was bananas. And you guys know who you are, and we know you are watching. So thank you for that conversation. Yes, thank you for that conversation.
You enlightened us.
Yeah, most definitely.
Me. And you were honest. And I respect truth and honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys did, so we appreciate it. Yeah. I'm still thinking about a lot of the stuff that I cannot say here.
Why? You never have a filter. Why?
And I don't know if they'll take their man card for
we're not
for giving us. I mean,
we're not dropping names. We're not saying who they are. Speak.
They shared a lot. So women, just so you know, I guess there is a such thing as a main woman that matters, and the rest of them
Malika, thank you for that. Yeah. No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what was said. I'm not speaking. Listen, I'm just repeating what a male told me. One male, okay? That don't mean every male. It was one male. Actually, it was three males, because they all were unison in what they said. And this is what they said. True. I can love a woman, and she can be my person. Yeah. We got an intimate bond with each other. Absolutely. We on this level with her.
Absolutely.
But I can have this chick on the side, sleep with her, and she mean nothing to me. I was blown by that. I was like, okay, so you got your person, you're on a level with her, she could potentially be your wife, and you still gonna be out chasing poor nanny like that?
Until that girl go calling that main one because she in her feelings. Now everybody world blown up. And wait, one of them said, "Oh, that's not gonna happen.
She better not. She better not. Yeah."
That
was interesting to me.
And a lot of them, how they interact with you is determined by you. I didn't realize, women had that much power in terms of you can dictate how someone interacts with you.
Yeah, because we had names for all of them. I'm just go ahead and say it. What Bruno Mars said, not Bruno Mars, our Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
What Bruno told us was, our relationship's going to start out how she dictated. So, what I took from that, and I know what you took from that is ladies coming in the gate, you got to recognize your power and what you want from that male. So, I'm going to speak my truth. As soon as I meet you, I know what direction we're going to move in. So be very clear on your intentions, because you are setting the stage. We dictate that. And that was major to hear a male say that out his mouth. I mean, because we
you can assume, you can make an assumption, and if you stick to your ground, because if you, prime example, someone was talking, and she had met a gentleman, and the gentleman was saying, he was saying out of his mouth, I want to be friends. And I think sometimes, maybe his actions could have dictated something different.
Right.
And they had sex, right? And so she wanted, with sex comes expectations. That's a conversation
from a female, because usually when a female, I don't want to speak for most females, but females,
yeah. But for me, there's expectations. My husband knows that. I have expectations. So I think at the end of the day, the guy ended up going back to what he had originally said, which was, I want to be friends. She thought it was going to change something because, they had sex, which is an interesting conversation, because I know a lot of women do that. So I think, like what you said, going in the gate, you need to, if you don't want to be friends with somebody, or actually you should be friends, but if you know that you want more than a friendship, or you want to progress from that friendship, you should have that conversation. And you should, I don't want anybody to be mad at me, but you should be friends first before you have sex.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. And recognizing, a lot of times we think you can change a person, and you're not going to change. You got to recognize what's in front of you and where it's going to go.
Like I tell people, because they actually asked me about my husband and our relationship. We had some real conversations, but like I explained to them, he is his own person. I do not control another person. What it is we have to respect each other, because there's consequences for behaviors. But I don't control him. I'm not checking his phone. I'm not jumping out the bushes on him. I'm not going to do that.
And that was hard for them to even believe that. Even with you being married, even with me being single and sitting there in that setting with them for 2 hours, they couldn't believe. Oh, you ain't got no dude blowing up your phone. Oh, how many numbers you got? Oh, you beautiful. You're lying. That's not. It was just an interesting conversation.
And they were honest. Yeah, it was a really honest conversation, and I can appreciate that, because we weren't making any assumptions about what they thought, and they weren't making any assumptions about us either, because we were there to speak our truth, my divine truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that being said, and getting off of that topic, we're going to have a conversation with Juma coming up.
Yes.
And that's on a whole nother end, where we can see this Black man doing business, making change, making moves.
And we're excited for that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.